student, in previous module you have heard and studied the basic facts about program planning. In this module you are going to learn and acquire the knowledge and skills on steps in program planning. This module covers the aspects such as steps in program planning. The detailed aspects of steps in program planning are discussed. What is a situation analysis? You have to analyze the situation, then needs, its type, what is objective, its type, and plan of work, execution, monitoring, evaluation, and reconsideration. What do you mean the steps or process? That means you have to follow the order or sequence in order to complete the task or work or program, whatever it may be. That is first step, second step, third step, etc. Then only the entire cycle or process will be completed. So like that, they are human being undergoing the process. So finally they are called adults. So like that, in program planning, the entire process should be completed. For that, we are following the steps in orderly manner. Okay? The process of program starts, move with definite systematic ways, but each step has its own decorum. If you miss any one step, the program may become unrealistic and may not achieve the desirable goal. The process of program starts, move with definite systematic ways, but each step has its own decorum. If you miss any one step, the program may become unrealistic and may not achieve the desirable goal. In extension, program planning is a continuous process by which people determine their goals together. Program planning is composed of program and planning. That's two words. Okay. Program covers development and determine side, whereas planning covers implementation side. The process of extension program planning can be broken into consecutive steps which are presented in the figure 1. So you can see that in the screen. First step is collection and analysis of data. So whatever you want to do, first you have to collect the data. That data will give you the situation, real situation. So what is the position and conditions? So based on that only, you can plan and chalk out your objectives and plan of work. So collection and analysis of data is very, very important. That too, who is collecting, where you are collecting, that gives you the clear indication to carry out your program. The second one is determination of objectives. See, based on the objectives only, you are going to do all your activities. Third step is definitions of problem. Next step is finding solution to the problem. Then next step is selecting problem and determining priorities. Then next, preparing a plan of action or annual plan of work. Next one is carrying out the plan. Then continuous checking and evaluation of results. The last one is review of progress and projection of plan. So let me explain all these in detailed manner. Okay, the first 4 steps are included under program planning. The remaining 4 steps are grouped under program action. Good planning depends on availability of adequate and reliable data and the scientific elaboration and interpretation of the same. The extension workers should make benchmark survey from where people should start the process of program planning. The emphasis should be given to outside facts and figures along with the local situation, which helps in determining a sound program. Outside facts create interest and humor and help in deciding recommendation for local situation based on the outside experience. In general, the change agent should have the knowledge and collect information about the village on population, total number of families and form families, other main occupation, educational system, mode of transport, communication facilities, medical center as well as hospital, aids, drinking water and drainage system and sanitary conditions, social classes, land pattern, livestock, type of irrigation, soil type, economic condition, and health status of the people and local leaders. All these facts may be collected from the records of local government of Panchayat Raj, local newspapers, personal visits, reports from local leaders, discussion and meeting with local peoples. Situation analysis is one of the most important steps in program planning process. It involves collection, compilation and analysis of facts in a given situation in order to identify local needs, interests and problems and priorities. In order to analyze the situation properly and effectively, it may necessary to understand the concept of people needs and interest. In life, this will be very useful to you. You should learn what is situation analysis. The next part is need. You have to assess the need, identify the need of the people. So then only you can plan your program. So first thing is you should know what is a need. Gap between the situation and the objective in the areas of need. So need is what one desires. It is lack of something. So people want something. That facility is lacking. That's what we are telling. We have to identify the needs. Because see, need may be differ from person to person, village to village. Okay. Need is the difference between what is and what ought to be. Next point is meaning of need. Need means a circumstances in which a thing or course of action. It requires course of action. It means a requirement, a thing necessary for life. It's a gap between two conditions. So because of your program, we are going to enhance the situation. That's what I am telling. You have to identify the needs. You should know the meaning of the needs. Next thing is, how do you assess the need? What it can be determined by observing and understanding the situation. What ought to be determined by estimation? Assessing the need. What is to be determined by observing and understanding the situation? What ought to be determined by estimation? The estimation of needs will be reveal the degree of the needs with of gap. This indicates the significance of problem existing. The wider the gap, the greater the need. So I think you have understood about what is a need. Next thing is concept of need. People needs are the basic for developing meaningful program. This involves collection of facts about the people, their attitude, knowledge and level of living, etc. The nature and extent of gap indicates significance of problem. Now I am going to explain to you about the types of need. Felt need. First one is, what is a felt need? This can be called as recognized need. Felt need is one which is recognized by the individual or a group. Unfelt need, it is known as unrecognized need. Unfelt need is one which is not recognized by the individual or a group. So I am coming to the another part, definition of a problem. The activities should be classified properly before planning. This helps in execution of the program. Problems can be classified into three categories. First one is problems solved by the villagers with their own resources. Example, improving the yield by adopting improved practices, digging compost pits, organizing rural youth club, etc. Next one is problems that need community cooperation without involving much outside assistance. Example, construction of village road or deepening of tank, etc. by volunteering efforts. Next one is problem that require outside assistance because of high cost, know-how of the technology and knowledge. Example, purchase of plant protection equipment, etc. Okay, then what do you understood from this? So problem can be solved by the villager themselves. Then another thing is they need community cooperation. They need not outsider assistance. For some problem, they need outsiders support and assistance. Is it clear? Next part is identification of the problem. How will you identify the problem? Problems are to be identified on the basis of data collected from different sources. Collection, analysis and interpretation helps in identifying the problem. There may be many problems, but you have to select what community needs. It's not desirable to have many problems at one time. The classification of problems after identification may be grouped as social, economic, technological, etc. Now, the change agent should consult with the specialist and experienced person to solve these problems for improving the situation in effective manner. Another part is determination of objective. It's very important. What do you mean objectives? Objectives are the direction for movement. So, it is giving the directions for our program. The success or failure of any program depends upon whether the objectives are achieved or not. The objectives should have clarity, understanding, achievability, developmental potential and create interest and satisfaction among the people. It may be measured and evaluated in terms of cost and benefits. Objectives can also be classified on the basis of period of achievement, such as long-term objective. That means you can achieve the desirable result after more than 10 years. Medium-term objective means you can achieve within the period of 3 to 5 years. And short-term objective, that means within 1 year or 1 season you can attain the results. Next part is level of objective, fundamental. The first level is fundamental objective. What is a fundamental objective? It is all inclusive objective of a society. Example for this is good life, better citizenship, democracy and development of the individual. General. It is general but more specific social objective. Example, helping rural people to have better home living, statement of policy, etc. Next one is working objectives. It's very specific item which are to be achieved step by step. Example, increasing income, production, etc. Next thing is how you can select the problem and give the priorities. Selecting the problems and determining priorities. All problems cannot be tackled simultaneously even though solutions are known for them. Yes or no? In real life, you and me has experienced same thing. So, all the problem cannot be solved immediately, simultaneously. At this stage, it is essential to set up program committee at village and block levels to review the situation periodically for determining how much progress has been made on projects under way, which projects are completed and which new projects need to be started. Extension worker have to play a great role in this respect. So, this shows and indicate you have to play a important role. Assessing the resources. It's very important. You should know how to assess the resources. What all the resources are available in local area, then the remaining things where you have to identify. To make the people adopt new practices and to solve the identified problems often require additional resources and efforts. The extension worker assess the natural resources, indigenous technology and organizational resources available, advanced technical inputs material as well as financial resources and socio-political resources required. For each of the priority problem, assess the resources needed like human resources, farm and home, particularly water, forest, etc. Formulating the plan of work. It's very important. Formulation of the plan of work is very important. It shows the ways and means how to carry out the program. So therefore, plan of work is very, very important. You should know how to formulate a plan of work. You have to prepare the plan of work, what it is, formulating the plan of work. Plan of work is a definite outline or activities to solve various problems of any program. It indicates detailed written action of the methods of executing the program, such as personal contacts or discussion, meeting or demonstration, places, timing, and person responsible for handling the program. If the plan is chalked out for an year, then it is called annual plan of work. Now you can see the diagram. In this diagram, I have given salient components of a plan. So what are the salient components? The first one is organization for planning. So for planning, you have to organize. Second thing is planning process. Third one is planned program. Fourth one is plan of work. Then another one is execution of plan of work. Last one is evaluation of accomplishment. I am going to explain to you on definition of program planning. Various author has given n number of definitions. I am going to give only one definition. The remaining definitions are shown in the screen, so you can see the screen. Now I will explain about the definition given by Halsey and Herney. Definition of plan of work. What is a plan of work? Plan of work is an outline procedure so arranged so as to enable efficient execution of the entire program. It is the answer to what, where, when and how the job will be done. That's what I am telling. Plan of work is very, very important. That shows what you are going to do, where you are going to perform the program, when, the date, how, then who are all involved in the process. Next one is elements of plan of work. The first one is educational objective. Who is to be reached? Example, audience. Who is your audience? The next one is subject matter. What subject matter is to be used? Another one is what behavioral changes is expected. That means through your program, what kind of changes you want to see in their knowledge, skill, attitude and goals. Okay. Next one is educational task. For the subject matter content of each objectives, there are specific tasks must be identified in the plan. Next one is clientele to be reached, must be identified in the plan. Next thing is methods to be used. So you have to decide what kind of method you want to use for your program. Sometimes you can use individual, sometimes groups, sometimes mass or combination of all. Okay. Then another one is location of teaching. Next one is calendar of teaching objective. Then another one is a teacher. Who is the teacher? Who is going to carry out the program? The next one is evaluation. That means you have to indicate under evaluation what type of evaluation you are going to use, what are the tools are used to evaluate the program. Then here I would like to summarize the above definition. Plan of work. It's clear that plan of work contains listing of activity for a season, preferably a year. These activities are details outline of predetermined objective. There are immediate goals to achieve. It is an outline of action to be taken, namely where it is to be done, what is to be done, how is to be reached, and how results might be measured. Here, each change agent develops specific project to carry out recommendation expressed in the program. Edgar rightly emphasized that educational job listed in the plan must be related to the general objectives in the program as planned. He further says, included in the plan of work are such things as the specific job that needs to be done, the subject matter that is needed, the people who are reached, where each job will be done, and who will do each job. Thus, the plan of work becomes a technical plan. It is a guide for daily action. It indicates direction in the selection of learning experience and teaching tools and methods. Now, I came to the important point, that is a program execution. For execution, you can use another word delivery, you can use another word implementation. Whatever it may be, the meaning is same. So, delivery. Delivery is very, very important in life. I have seen delivery is very, very important. So, pregnant women, take an example. Pregnant women planned and so many processes undergone. During delivery, doctor should play effective role and the team also play the effective role, family members and pregnant lady. Then the success of the delivery depends the entire team. Like that, in program planning process, delivery part is very, very important. You have planned n number of things in excellent manner. So, delivery is not performing in excellent and expected manner means we won't get expected result. That's what delivery and execution or implementation is very, very important. This is a crucial phase where in the coordinated and time-bound sequential efforts envisaged in the program are put forth, adjustments being made only with regard to changes in the situation subsequently to planning decision, drawing action plan. This should specify what, when and where as well as by whom the necessary action is to be taken. Next one is activity planning. After formulating the strategy, individual activities to be continued should be considered, listed and organized in a proper sequence. Sharing responsibility. The plan for sharing a program action responsibility at different times at different places in a coordinated way. This lays down as to who should do what. Designing calendar of action. The dimension of when and where has to be added and by whom to form a comprehensive calendar of plan or work. This is a key element in program execution. Implementing the activities. Based on the calendar of action, implementing the event is the next step in program execution. It requires advanced preparation for effective implementation. Advanced preparation is essential to ensure that things happen without confusion and as per the plan. Make advanced arrangement for all inputs and teaching aids. Start initiating action with persons involved. Interpret the approved program to the staff and local leaders. Guiding the process in order to carry out the planned program phase by phase in coordinated manner. Watching the progress. This is essential to avoid lapses and to prevent slippages. Observing performance. Having a sharp responsibility for different activities, it becomes necessary to watch the performance of each during the implementation state. This is to ensure that things are happening as designed as far as practical and deviation, if any, are within the limits of tolerance. Next point is providing assistance. If suppose where the performance is below the level of expectation, immediate effort is to made to recognize the nature and effect of deficiency and provide assistance. Ensure correctiveness. If there are lapse of some sort, either due to changed environment or due to human error, quick reckoning of the situation should be done to introduce appropriate correctiveness wherever possible. I am going to explain to you about evaluation. What is evaluation? Why we are talking about evaluation? So far you have assessed the situation, identified the needs, problems, then prepared a plan of work, executed the program. Then another part is evaluation. In evaluation only you will identify the success of the program that gives the feedback. Then based on this only you can reconsider the entire process. So that's what I am telling. Program planning is a continuous process. So you have to perform the program in step by step manner. That's what the last part is evaluation. Whereas the first part is collection and analysis. Isn't it? So what is evaluation? Evaluation is an essential part of any extension program. Periodic evaluation provides a basis for continuous improvement. Evaluation in extension has been preliminarily emphasized and practiced as a submissive activity in which the results of the program are described. Systematic evaluation of a training program helps to know the changes taken place in the attitude, knowledge and skills of the trainees. Monitoring and evaluation are closely related. Evaluation is the means through which monitoring can be taken up. These two are two pillars. See, through monitoring, you are evaluating the progress of the program. According to FAO, monitoring and evaluation are important, yet are neglected function of most developmental departments carrying out field extension work. So, hereafter, we have to give importance for these two things, monitoring and evaluation. Evaluation is important in each and every program, and especially it is a human activity. It's not new and as older as history. People who considerably evaluate without calling it as such, evaluation should be an integral part of any extension program. It should be applied with planning of program to the execution of the program and to the results. Review of progress and projection of plan. What is it? At the end of each cycle of program planning process, as a periodical review of situation and reconsideration of plan for setting up revised objective should be done in view of the changes in social and economical levels of the people. The important thing is that the evaluation process has not served its purpose unless the conclusion drawn from it has entered the continuing plans of the worker. In other words, it is the reconsideration of the whole issue in the light of the findings of the evaluation. If it is not reaching certain objectives or certain definite people, then the worker has not improved himself professionally. The value of extension work will be poor, and extension worker will have to attempt to modified activity so that they might or will reach the objective or the people. Thus, the finding of evaluation need to be presented either by talking with local leader or in the form of report for reconsideration. Different authors have given different steps of program planning process. Now, I conclude my session with a quick recapping of steps in program planning. You learned fundamentals such as situation analysis, assessing the need, priorities, the problem, identifying the resources, setting up of objectives, formulation of plan of work, execution of the program and reconsideration. The success of this lecture lies on your understanding of the steps in program planning and applying these steps in future. Okay, see you in next class. Bye.